He thought he was in control. How wrong he was.
Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club.
From the deepest corner of the darkest universe, two brave hosts battle through nameless hordes of ghoulish monsters most foul, all to bring you the eternal glory of the Dark Side Drive-In.
It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another terrifying, mesmerizing, death-defying episode of The Dark Side Drive-In Intermission. You're joined by your hosts with the most ghosts, Stefan.
Hey, it's nice to be here. Thanks, announcer guy.
And also Shane.
Hey, did you ever find He-Man? Or that was a...
Oh, sorry, the announcer left already.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, he said that it really hurt his throat to do that voice, so
yeah.
he had to leave. So he's gone.
That makes a lot of sense now that you mention it.
I know, it's really crazy. Like, we could only afford to pay him to, like, do that intro, and he's gone.
He was only here for a minute.
Only for a moment, and the moment's gone.
Oh, nice.
But, yeah, so something else happened, too.
Dust in the wind.
And he prays.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so it's really crazy, though. Like, last time we had our Dracula voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was Count Dracula.
Oh.
And he got in a rap battle with Kendrick Lamar Wolf. Got destroyed. People started bringing up about how Count Dracula used to text underage girls.
Oh, no.
And he was like, a lot of his defenders online were like, but in Transylvania, the age of consent is 16. And we're like, dude, not a good look.
Not a good
So
look.
he's just going to go underground for a little while. But I'm sure that, like all the time since Degrassi, Count Dracula will make a return.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah. Well, it's really kind of crazy, too, because like it doesn't matter what the age of consent is if you're a 500-year-old vampire, but who am I to make the rules?
Yeah, who's counting?
Calendars?
Yeah, true.
Time? The forward march of time that continues forever.
Oh, man. So if you haven't guessed it, you're tuning into the Dark Side Drive-In Intermission. Where we talk about things that aren't from the 80s. Well, actually, probably always mostly.
They still can be.
Probably mostly the 80s.
They just don't have to be.
True.
We're not contractually obligated to maintain one single focus.
Well, speak for yourself. But anyways, so this is our supplementary episodes that we're doing to kind of talk about what's on our mind. Hopefully interact a little more with you all. We've actually picked up a lot of new listeners. So thank you to everybody that started following us and reaching out on Instagram. We've done a couple posts, which we'll get into later. And again, it's greatly appreciated from all of us here. I do have some housekeeping. Finally, first time, long time.
Housekeeping. Before you do that, should we get into the elephant in the same room?
Yeah.
that we're recording this episode in the same room?
We own an elephant.
Yeah. What? We bought a zoo. No, we didn't. But we are in the same room. We're recording together again, trying the grand experiment once more.
Do you think that was Matt Damon's worst movie? Him buying a zoo? Or is it when they shrunk him down?
Oh man, I hated that movie.
Yeah.
Did you watch it? Downsized or Downsizing? I don't remember the name of it. It's like
Yeah.
Downsize adjacent.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's just hyper capitalism.
Well,
Wow.
imagine how much more devastating climate change would be on you if you're a tiny person. Worse?
Worse.
Let me check my notes. It says worse.
Let me check science here. Yes, worse.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, I really felt cut off.
Yeah.
What were we talking about before that? Let's
That
get
we
back
were in
to-
the same room.
Oh yeah, we are in the same room. So there you go. That's the announcement. Stop the presses, and then release a press release so it can be on the presses.
We try to occasionally get together and try to record in person. Last time we did it, I'm trying to remember which episode it was. Do you remember? Was it Life Force or was it? I don't know. I'd have to.
I don't think it was Life Force. No.
But either way, first one was a dry run. This one is a wet run because we've been enjoying adult beverages. But yeah, I think
Uncomfortable with that phrasing.
yeah, it's a big Richard energy. Like you don't like that. Anyways, so yeah, I think we're excited to get to do this in person. I think we'd prefer to do this in person.
Well, I started out really excited.
Yeah.
Quickly eliminated my enthusiasm with your weird phrasing.
Started from the top. Now you're here. But anyways, so housekeeping. We relaunched our YouTube channel. So I should probably back up a minute. So usually whatever show I'm on, I had another show with another one of our group members, and I did all the housekeeping for the show, like for the group, the Dynamis group with all of us, wherever I was basically talking. And so I thought this would be a better place to talk about it rather than our full episodes, because we want to dedicate that to getting through talking about the movies and the actors. So we relaunched our YouTube channel. So it's the Low Key Arcade. You can find us on YouTube. We just started an Instagram. I think I've been cross-posting some stuff. So you should have seen some stuff by now. We are, by the time you hear this, we would have already done our Loom playthrough, which is an old LucasArts point-and-click adventure. So if that sounds interesting to you, just stop on over to the channel. There's no audio, so it's just a playthrough. So, you can kind of put it on the background while you're working or just kind of chill and check it out. AGB is still going strong. He's been streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. He's been doing a lot of Dark Souls right now. So if you like the Souls-like games, he's been doing a lot of challenge runs. And another member of our group is relaunching their show he and his wife do called Sir Cheddarworth's Roundtable, where they kind of do a different take on either anime or, other nerd focused kind of culture. So, yeah, but we have some bad news that I'm sure all of you already know about, but, we're not breaking the news. It's just, we were unfortunate enough to suffer a great loss in the horror community recently. I don't know, Stephanie, want to get into it or?
Yeah, we were kind of game planning what we're going to do this week, and we actually had some, listener feedback on things that we were going to discuss, going to make that part of the plan. But unfortunately, a titan in the, in all of the film industry, but, specifically in low budget and genre filmmaking, a titan in the industry has fallen, which was Roger Corman, RIP to a real one. He unfortunately passed away yesterday, right? Was that yesterday that
I believe so, yeah.
Did pass away? Yeah. For us, which, I guess that means now it's Monday. But yeah, he passed away on Sunday. Sad to see him go. 98 years old, though. So he's
May
had
9th.
a long life. Was it May 9th?
Yeah, so it was last Thursday.
They must have just released word then yesterday.
Yeah, I think
because
probably
I
did
don't
the
think I
family
heard about it
sometime,
before
maybe.
that. Yeah.
Well, because his wife died on the 7th, right?
Oh, Julie Corman
Yeah.
passed away. Yeah. Yeah. So both of them had passed away. Roger Corman being, hugely influential in the film world. I mean, I think how many famous actors and directors got their start, working with him. He had a reputation for. Sorry, did you want to say something?
I'm sorry, she's not dead. I apologize. She was tagged in a article about Roger Corman passing. And because we're in the same room, it's going to be hard for me to get rid of most of this. But no, she did not pass. I apologize.
Well, good. That would have been a bummer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but so many, up and coming filmmakers early in their careers, Francis Ford Coppola, Martin Scorsese, Ron Howard, Peter Bogdanovich, going through there's just a list and you just go on and on. Galen Hurd, Joe Dante, we love Joe Dante because of Gremlins, not so much because of Piranha. James Cameron, the list goes on, and that's just directors and filmmakers and stuff like that. You have actors like Jack Nicholson, Peter Fonda, Bruce Dern, Charles Bronson. A lot of people who got Dennis Hopper got their early starts in, lower budget movies with Roger Corman. And often he'd reuse actors, reuse directors and stuff like that because number one, it was cost effective because he knew that they were effective filmmakers and effective actors. But it was just interesting to see how many people's careers he influenced, which small preview for coming attractions, which is our next full length Dark Side Drive-In episode, is actually going to be a movie directed by Mark Goldblatt, who was a production assistant and associate editor on Eat My Dust in 1976. So the next movie, while not specifically produced by Roger Corman or part of his staple of produced films from one of his studios. Although, interestingly enough, the movie that we're doing is from New World Pictures, which was the studio that Roger Corman was heading for a long time. By that point, he was no longer the head of the studio, but there's a lot of through lines there, including, the director getting his start there. So, so our next episode will, tangentially be related to Roger Corman, as so many of these things tend to be.
Yeah, and he does come up a lot in our discussions. He's had a huge impact. So, again, pour one out for homie. And
he did a couple years back too. He did interview on the Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs on Shudder, which is a really interesting interview. And even though he was, when he passed away, he was 98. This was only a couple years ago, so he was in his mid to late 90s.
Yeah,
still talking about film, still just seemingly as active as ever. So it's devastating to see him go. We expect that it'll happen eventually to everybody, but it's just a bummer when it happens. So as a tribute to not keep the mood down much longer, our 1940s He-Man announcer didn't come here to get us in here to be sad. So we're going to talk about our personal top 5 Roger Corman films. And we kind of talked about this beforehand. It doesn't have to be directed by or produced by, but it has to be directed or produced by. Has to be one or the other.
Yep.
Could be directed, could be produced. You didn't choose one that was actor, did you? Because you had talked about doing that.
I did not.
Okay. He was going to choose Silence of the Lambs, guys. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Well, look, that's a pretty big, it's a big one.
Let's just he had a lot of acting roles, not because he was an actor, because I don't think even he would say that he was an actor, but so many of his proteges over the years would put him in cameo appearances in their films. So it just shows how much influence he had that he was in so many movies.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start with mine. So do you want to do 5 and 5, or do you want to do one off, like back and forth?
Up to you. You're running the show. Oh, wait, no, I run this show.
Technically.
Then we will do... I don't know, do you want to... okay, let's do countdown from 5 up to 1, and then we'll hand off.
in order there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then at the end, I'll do a couple honorable mentions that didn't make my top 5 because I could only choose 5.
All right. So my 5th favorite Corman film is The Nest, which we had done, about a month or 2 ago during our Critter Christmas.
The Creepy Crawly Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That was like 5 months ago.
Oh, was it? Oh my God. Which one was Christmas in Gulai? It's terrible.
Except we don't do that. We do
Sorry, everybody.
Summer Try Slash-a-thon.
Yeah. First Supernaturals, then Death Ship, and then that terrible joke. But anyways,
Don't worry, still plenty of room for you to fail.
yeah, right. Thank God. But yeah, I think we loved doing that episode. I like that movie a lot. It's like weird enough. They all use real cockroaches and infested an entire studio for years. So
It was the gift that kept on giving,
yeah, they're like this is
whether they wanted it to or not.
it's a Corman joint. So
Good.
yeah, so that was my number 5. How about you?
Mine, my number 5 is going to be the 1993 dinosaur opus Carnosaur.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And the reason I do is because, number one, we talked, what was it, in the Ghoulies 3 episode about how John Carl Buechler, the director of that film, was the dinosaur wrangler
Yeah.
for that animatronic T-Rex. This is one of its many appearances. Don't worry, it's not its only one. But I just love that. But it was like really interesting to watch like it was like it saw what Jurassic Park did and how well thought out it was. And it's like, but what if we just half-ass this thing?
Right.
We'll just make it like, just mutated chickens that are also dinosaurs. And also a plague that'll destroy all women on Earth because they'll be forced to give birth to chicken dinosaur monsters. What a film. Can't go wrong. Perfect 9 out of 7.
I almost said Chinosaurs.
What?
I don't know. It makes
What does
no
that even
sense.
mean?
Was chicken dinosaurs?
Oh, because, yeah.
Yeah, and then I realized like,
That is a country. It might be taken as offensive.
or you just do Dickens, but then that also doesn't work.
How about Dino Nuggets?
I love it. That's the answer.
There we go. Got it in 3.
Yeah.
I let you have 2 swings at it before I had to come in and clean up hit that thing.
Yeah. So number 4 for me is probably Wasp Woman. Not so much that the plot sticks with me heavily, but it is a like cult classic among our friends of us getting together to watch that, or have watched that at like 2 or 3 in the morning. There's been, I think, was there a Mystery Science Theater of that?
No.
No.
That was just the same era.
Okay,
So
there
what
should have
happened
been.
was I had gotten a collection of DVDs at Walmart, just back then they used to sell these like packs of like
bins.
DVDs in the bins. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one had a number of old horror features. And one of them was Wasp Woman. And I talked it up to you guys so much. Like, we got to watch Wasp Woman, guys. This is going to be wild or whatever. So we all got together in my room, just packed that fraternity house room in there. And we watched the Wasp Woman. And I feel like we were way more disappointed in it than you're giving it credit for. But we also had a good time, which is, I think, what you're reflecting.
Right. Yeah,
So
it was more of like it was the
how just
stings.
her hands and her, like, she had like a wasp helmet on. Like, ironically, that collection also had a copy of Lady Frankenstein, which is another movie that was Roger Corman produced picture. So
what was your number 4?
I was going through all of the sword and sorcery movies that Roger Corman produced because I have a sucker for like that genre. Unfortunately, there's like sexually uncomfortable overtones in many of these. Looking at you, almost the entire Deathstalker series. But I zeroed in on Barbarian Queen, which is one that I really enjoyed. I like Barbarian Queen. I think it holds up. And it is on Tubi because I was just watching it recently and I did fall asleep, but I still think it held up. So
It held up in your dreams.
well, that's one of those things I do is I put a movie on. It's like on Tubi, and it's like I'm just gonna have a nice laid back on the couch and throw on a movie a comfort movie and then fall asleep. But it was good until I fell asleep. So there you go. Barbarian Queen, 1985. That's my number 4.
So my number 3, I think, is going to be, this was kind of a tie. But I'm going to give it to Little Shop of Horrors. He was the writer on that, or a writer on Little Shop of Horrors. I don't want to say too much because I also want us to do that episode. And so, yeah, great movie. You should watch it. A lot of really awesome memes came out of that movie, phrases that we've used as friends, making fun of our other friends. So, yeah.
And that's how you know it's done out of love. All right, Little Shop of Horrors for you.
I mean, did you want me to go into that more? Or?
It's up to you. I don't want to tell you what to do, man.
No, because I really do want to do that one eventually.
I did put you on the spot with this entire episode concept, basically, when I arrived here.
That's fine.
So if you don't want to do too much more detail, I think that this is like one of those, like, listicle articles that we were just putting out. This is like the audio version of that.
Yeah.
We've already become hacks 2 episodes into our intermission series.
We're like BuzzFeed now.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, they're successful, or were successful. Do they still exist?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Someone Google that for us. I can't do it. I'm speaking into a microphone right now. So yeah, my number, 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. My number 3 is Galaxy of Terror, which is kind of a more obscure one. It's available in a lot of places on streaming. I will say that the first 3/4 of it probably holds up a lot better than the last quarter. The way it resolves what was going on and the way it resolves it is a little weird. But it is also like high concept, which I really appreciate that. It was really swinging for it. Not a lot of people talk about it. There's some really gross creature effects during certain parts based on things that people are experiencing, which I don't want to get too much into that because it's kind of a spoiler. But the things that the characters experience is based off of their own fears, hence the name. So there you go. Galaxy of Terror. That's my number 3.
Awesome. Number 2 for me is Chopping Mall.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So prior to doing this, I actually hadn't seen this film. And so this was not my first introduction to Corman, but I guess my first introduction to like being educated from Stefan on like this whole, I've seen actually a lot of these movies. I just didn't put it all together. But yeah, I mean, how can you not love this movie? I mean, it's got Ferdy, right? It's Ferdy, the D.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, someone gets their head just exploded off of their body. Like no warning, just boom, gone. So, yeah, I loved it.
You got to have a brief appearance of Dick Miller.
Yeah.
Which is how you know it's a Corman film. And also, still love the fact that it came out the same exact year as Short Circuit with such a similar premise, but such devastatingly different results.
Yeah, really. And like the cover did not deliver on what it wanted, but like the homicidal robots though, like kind of make up for it.
I mean, they were out there killing folks. They just weren't doing it with entire Terminator-like hands. They were very much more like big old Roombas with lasers.
And clamps.
Also clamps. Don't get me started on how dangerous clamps can be. I've seen Futurama.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, my number 2 is going to be, I'm throwing it way back to the olden times of 1970.
Oh my God.
You see? Yeah. I'm going to do the Dunwich Horror, which was an adaptation of the H.P. Lovecraft story of the same name, featuring none other than Al from Quantum Leap. I can't remember that actor's name.
Al Bundy. No, that's not him.
That's not it. But he starred in it, and so much of it is kind of goofy and weird and stuff like that. But man, I remember I first watched this movie. It was on Netflix back when Netflix had good stuff on it. Mm-hmm. It was on Netflix in like 2011, and that was the first time I managed to catch a glimpse of it. But man, what an interesting movie. Like, is it exactly like the Dunwich Horror? Like the story? No, but Lovecraftian adaptations prior to the 80s, I feel like can be graded on a curve. And the fact that Roger Corman did do a couple of Lovecraft adaptations, including an honorable mention that I was going to bring up, but I'll just bring it up now because no one can stop me, is The Haunted Palace, which was actually based off of the case of Charles Dexter Ward. So he was definitely out there making these adaptations. Now, how successful they were, I would argue that they probably weren't as successful as his Poe adaptations, but he was out there getting it done. So you can't argue with that.
Nice. I think that brings me to my number one, which is Death Race 2000. I mean, the whole Death Race. We made a joke earlier. I can't. Which one was it? I think it's just called Death Race now with Jason Statham.
Yeah, the remake.
Which is good, but I don't know. I kind of like that idea. I'm a sucker for cars with guns or vehicular combat.
Really big fan of Twisted Metal over here.
I am. So
really big fan of Vigilante 8.
I was going to bring it up. I think it's probably better, but whatever.
Really big fan of Carmageddon.
I was kind of, because that's a lot different. So that didn't.
That's more like just killing folks with a car, right?
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Not as sporting.
I played a game. It was on PlayStation 1. Red Asphalt. I love that game. That was another. So Red Asphalt was almost identical to Death Race.
Did you ever play Star Wars Demolition?
I love that game. Yeah, I loved it.
Still don't understand how that Rancor was able to hold up as well as he did against like actual vehicles.
The speeder, I mean, they were all great. And then he had the AT-AT, like the.
I mean, yeah, you got to.
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah.
Oh no, it was an ATST, wasn't it?
You're right. It wasn't.
Yeah, had an AT-AT. Yeah, because like that'd be unfair. That thing's a
You're right.
monstrosity. But there you go. My number one.
Yeah,
then.
your number one. Yeah.
Sorry, I was almost like, all right, we did it.
We did it.
No, wait, I didn't do it yet. So my number one, I had to pick between any one of the Poe adaptations, which there are several, and they are all quite good in my opinion. And it came down to me between Pit and the Pendulum and The Mask of the Red Death. But I went Mask of the Red Death. 1964, our man Vincent Price, such a good movie. And all of those adaptations, like they do a good job of handling atmosphere. Vincent Price brings that gravitas. I think he's in all of them. I think he's in Pit and the Pendulum. He's in this Mask of the Red Death. He's in I think he's in The Raven. He's in a lot of them. So it's really, he brings that Vincent Price of it all, who interestingly enough, this is kind of a spoiler for our next episode, which features a role of Vincent Price for some reason. This is the first time we're going to cover Vincent Price on this entire show is with our next episode. But
what have we?
But Vincent Price,
what hath we wrought?
He played Vincent Van Ghoul on the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, and that was like probably the first time I ever encountered him. So ever since I heard that distinctive voice, I was like, "This is the guy. This is the one.
This is him."
Yeah. It's him.
So normally we would, our first segment would go to the game that we play, but I thought this is, we both kind of agreed that this was a little more serious. We want to get this out of the way so we could kind of joke around for the rest of the episode. But
yeah, because one thing we definitely didn't do is joke during that entire.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like, I get it.
So, but yeah, so RIP.
Paying our tribute, pouring out to the real one.
So good. But yeah, so we have a new game for everybody today. And I'm curious to see how Mr. Stefan here reacts. So last time we did Spooktacular Stumpers.
Yeah, we did.
And then on our regular episodes, we do the creepy questionnaire. But now we're going to try out the Terrible 20.
Oh, wait, I came up with that name.
You definitely did.
What have I done?
Plagiarism. Anyways, so yeah, I'm excited to see how you do with this. I don't even know if I want to get basically. So you're gonna have 19 questions and one guess. So your 20th question has to be, is it blah blah blah, right? So I only have one question for you. Are you ready?
Well, no, but I guess I have to do my catchphrase, which is that I'm the readiest that I've ever been.
Yeah, I thought that was clever because it was like you asked me the question. All right, never mind.
Yeah, but I'm not.
And you,
I barely agreed to this.
let's get into it.
Rip it and rip it.
Rip it, brother. This episode brought to you by Montucket Cold Snacks.
Probably shouldn't say that because what if they don't want to bring it to us?
All publicity is good publicity, my man.
That's true. Until we're sued.
Well, yes. But anyways, all right, ask away. And this is probably will take longer, but I'll cut it all.
So it is definitely a, like...
It's horror themed.
Okay.
It's an opera.
Okay, now I get it. So now I know. Is this a film?
Yes. All these are going to be films. I will tell you. Okay.
Is it based off of film source material that is not a film?
Google
frantically.
Yeah, hold on. I don't believe so.
Okay. Is it a creature feature?
No.
Is it a slasher?
Yes. So I probably should write this down.
Is it an 80s slasher?
No.
Is it a 70s slasher?
No.
Is it a 90s slasher?
No.
Right. It isn't 70s, it isn't 80s, and it isn't 90s? Is it after the 90s?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Is it part of a franchise?
Yes.
Is it a Scream?
No.
Is it a remake?
No.
Is it a reboot?
No. So you hold on. So before you go, so you are at. So you've asked 10 questions. So you have 9 more in a guess.
Is it a legacy sequel?
What could you explain that?
Yeah. Is it like a latter sequel to an earlier series?
No.
I don't believe you. How can it not be a remake, a reboot, or a latter, like a legacy sequel?
Maybe it's its own original IP to start with.
A slasher?
That's why I thought this would be easier. I'm also giving you too many hints.
Does it have like a high concept?
Could you elaborate?
Like a time loop or multiple universes?
No.
Or not even a body swap?
No, which I would consider high concepts. That's not another
Yeah,
question.
I would too. So that's not another question.
You're 12.
I know. Is there one villain or many villains? Or no, is there many villains?
Yes.
Are they hillbillies?
No, they're not portrayed as hillbillies, but like that's not their shtick. Like, obviously, they probably could be hillbillies, but definitively they are not hillbillies or have eyes, which would have been a reboot of a.
Are there any supernatural elements?
No. Which again, I don't know if you would consider that high concept, but
No. Man, not a remake, reboot, legacy sequel, no high concept. No hillbillies? Is it a horror comedy?
no.
Is there some kind of like in the movie, is there like an inciting event that leads to like the events to continue down the path of a killer getting to them?
No.
I don't know. I might be stumped. I don't think I have any idea any other. If it doesn't have a high concept and it's not a legacy sequel, remake, or reboot, I doubt I've seen it. So I can't imagine that I know what it is.
So you have 4 questions left. Would a year help you?
Sure. Was it within the last 10 years?
No.
Okay. So it's after the 90s and before 2014. So 14 years there.
Would maybe getting like descriptions of the people help?
No. Oh, I mean, it would, but that's not the rules.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you asked me a question, like maybe ask a question about them
About the victims?
or the perpetrators.
Does the perpetrator have a gimmick?
So you said you asked if there were many villains. I said yes.
Yeah.
So do you want to rephrase that?
Oh. Do the perpetrators... Oh. Does a home invasion feature into it?
Yes.
Is it the strangers?
Yes.
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 Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Probably a bunch of people at home right now are like, what the hell, man?
Screaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. I don't know. This is our first time doing this, so I didn't really anticipate any sort of,
I just never think
easy
of that
way.
one as being a slasher, even though it is. I
Yeah, it
guess,
totally
at the end
is.
Of the day, but
And it is part of a franchise now because they're doing the reboots, the part 1, part 2.
yeah, because they had a sequel, Pray at Night, and then
So that would be the Legacy sequel. Well, no, they're doing the new ones that are coming out.
yeah, a new one.
Yeah. So, and then it's not supernatural. There was no event. They passed them on the road and decided just to kill them.
Well, the event is they were home.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, one of my favorite slasher movies of all time. Some of the scenes that you're like, oh, there's no way that person would be there, and they are.
I was thinking too big. I was thinking of
Yeah.
the high concept ones I was thinking of were Happy Death Day, and what's the one with the body swap that happens
With Vince Vaughn?
Freaky? Yeah, that one was good. So I was thinking of all of those, and then Totally Killer, the one where the girl goes back in time,
True.
or the Christmas one on Shudder that I talked about.
Suitable Flesh.
No, just because it's on Shudder doesn't mean that it's suitable flesh. No, it was it was one that was themed like It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Knife.
There you go.
That's what it was. Yeah. So I was thinking of all these high concept weird ones. I was like, oh, just boilerplate folks getting murdered. Glenn Howerton dying, unfortunately, because he went to visit his friend.
Yeah, that was tough. That was really tough.
Got himself shotgunned by Scott Speedman.
So
Spoiler alert for The Strangers.
poor Liv Tyler. I mean, geez. So
I mean, she's a Nepo baby. She'll get through it.
whoa.
She is.
So
Her father's a very famous rock star.
He is. He definitely is. So I'm a fan of 20 Questions. There's a lot of other shows and stuff that do that game, but I think it's probably one of my favorites of all. I just love 20 Questions.
I just have to get better at it.
Well, I think, yeah, you gamify it, right? But so I'm opening this up to everybody listening. If you have any suggestions for 20 questions, please send them to me and I will create a list and we'll go through it. If I don't hear anything, I already have one for next time
No,
I'm pretty excited to do. So
I'm going to be so bad at it.
So speaking of people reaching out, we did have a few. Now, I will say a couple months ago, a band from Minneapolis, Minnesota reached out to us. They're called Toilet Rats. They're amazing. Their music is awesome. I highly recommend going to check them out. You can find them on pretty much everywhere under Toilet Rats. I think it's just one guy. I think he has a band that travels with him, but he's pretty much like the main driving force behind that band. They're super awesome people. So we used a couple of their songs for some of our promo material, which he okayed. And he asked us a very, very good question, but a very in-depth question. And it was for us to rank the Friday the 13th series. And we planned on doing it this episode, but due to
Roger Corman going and dying on us.
yeah, so we decided maybe that would take enough time and deserves enough attention that we would do that in its own supplementary episode. But on top of that, we did get some pretty good questions. So I didn't know if we wanted to crack into them or if you wanted to, or do you want me to? I have them up if you want.
You have them up, man.
So, all right. The other thing, so if you're not going to give us nicknames, and we don't want to dox people, so we're just going to give you nicknames, so you'll know who you are. So the first one's from the General.
Sure.
What are the lyrics to the Rebel Revolver song at the end of the Ghoulish 3 episode? Great question. You should go check them out on Spotify. I don't know if the lyrics are on there, but our Our friends at Rebel Revolver wrote us a killer theme song.
It rules.
The lyrics are a culmination of various episodes we've already done, plus some personal like stylings that they've added because they're friends with us in real life. So yeah, General, that's what
We'll leave that question up to them.
Yeah, try listening maybe. Yeah.
I don't agree with that because I've always talked about how I cannot like understand lyrics of songs. I just can't. Spoken word, I'm all about it. I can understand every word of it, but when it's sung, good luck, buddy.
Well, you could ask Rebel Revolver this weekend at the Millville Music Festival.
Oh, will this come out before then?
Yeah, Friday. So they play on Saturday, right?
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, the 17th. I think they're at the VFW. I think they play at 7:45?
7 something.
7:45. Go there at 6. They'll be playing after 6.
I mean, just check out their socials. They're very active there.
Yep.
And they have a lot of upcoming shows too. So check
sure
them
do.
out.
They sure do.
Sure does.
So the next question is by a close friend of both of ours. And we're trying to determine what nickname to give her.
Oh, the Witch of the Woods.
The Witch, is that what we're sticking with?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Witch of the Woods had a bunch. One of them was asking for an episode request, so we'll save that for another time.
Or we won't. That's so far outside of our like area.
I know. But the one that I thought was really good was, if you had unlimited resources to do so, what kind of horror movie would you write and direct? So I'll let you start and then I'll do mine.
I guess I sort of like the idea of like a interdimensional incursion thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like some kind of like Lovecraftian situation, but like on a big scale. Like just give me like a war between us and Lovecraftian monsters, and then we like lose because we suck at it.
Right.
But if it were going to be anything that was like more realistic, I'd probably want to do an adaptation of, well, it's already been done. Well, no, it has been done, but I don't think it's been done well enough. I like Stuart Gordon's Dagon, which is an adaptation actually of The Shadow over Innsmouth, but I would love to see another adaptation of The Shadow over Innsmouth, like a really good, like, grounded adaptation of that. That'd be really cool to see.
Nice.
It's one of my favorite Lovecraft stories. So,
yep. TM.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can TM that thing. That's like, well, I think that there's the Lovecraft stories actually went into the public domain recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess it's about like that time.
Yeah. So I don't know if probably not all of them, but some of them did. But if it wasn't going to be that, then it would actually probably be Robert E. Howard's Southern Gothic novella. I guess it's a novella or short story, Pigeons from Hell. If you've ever read that.
I have not.
Super good. Okay, so there's 3 answers. But also, Pigeons from Hell would be really hard to adapt. But I would like to give it a try. Or make a good Solomon Kane movie.
Oh, geez.
How about that? No, did you ever watch the James Purefoy Solomon Kane movie?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like somebody who didn't really read like the Solomon Kane stories. So
Shots fired.
I mean,
hey,
he did his best.
You call him as you see him, right? So, yeah. I think if I had unlimited budget and just sticking to like, so I'd probably pick the zombie genre. I know that's been done to death. Hey, one of my favorite zombie movies is, I believe it's called Zombies, where it's like everything's in black and white when you're the zombie, but everything like so it cuts where they're zombies, they're talking and they're like, hey, why can't you understand us? And then it flips to like what's happening in real life. And they're just like, and everyone's like freaking out and screaming. So I kind of like that idea, but I would really like to do a movie where for some reason someone thought the zombie apocalypse started, like something happened, like maybe their neighbor, like, I don't know, got rabies or something and attacked them and they thought it was a zombie apocalypse and they just start offing everyone they see like in their neighborhood. Like, you know what I mean? I think it'd be funny. And then it turns out there's like nothing wrong with anybody. and they just like basically thought it was the apocalypse and just start like killing people and stuff.
So just an active shooter scenario.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of, but like, I think it'd be funnier if like it was like more like, I guess it wouldn't be funny, but I don't know.
Well, that's the challenge that you as a filmmaker have to figure out how to make that funny.
I mean, if those assholes can make a comedy movie about 30 minutes or less,
oh man,
I think anyone can.
That thing that actually happened not too far from us.
Right. So,
oh, hey, I have an idea if you want to do a zombie movie.
Yeah. Okay.
There's this really good book called World War Z.
Oh, okay.
And they've never made a movie about it. Like, and it's just ripe for it being adapted into
so what if we do a sequel to the one that shall not be named?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But he was wrong and gives everyone like AIDS. And then they still like kill everyone anyways.
All right. Yeah. Super funny. That'd be a really, really funny movie. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Although, thinking back on it, I have another one I would do too.
Okay. Go ahead.
Robert McCammon's novel Swan Song.
Ooh.
Have you ever read that?
I've not.
Super good. It was like
the
nuclear war version of like The Stand, like Stephen King's The Stand. I've heard basically for the last 20 years that they're going to adapt it. It's going to happen. So I don't think it's ever going to happen, but that would be another one I'd choose.
So then I have another one.
Go.
And we always joke about this. It'd be like redoing a Muppets movie. So the unlimited budget was be like just saving the Muppets from the grasp or whatever they're under now.
Disney.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it, but, and then do a, I don't know, like a horror movie, maybe like Friday the 13th, but with Muppets, or like Halloween with Muppets, or like The Return of the Living Dead with Muppets, which would be fucking hilarious.
It basically already kind of is. Like a bunch of those things are just puppets.
Yeah. So, that would be, if I had an unlimited budget, I would resurrect the Muppets and do some kind of horror movie.
Do like Evil
can you
Dead,
imagine?
but Kermit the Frog is Ash. Like, hail to the king, baby.
Yeah.
Like, that's a terrible Kermit the Frog.
The king, baby.
Yeah, there you go. It's good work. You did it.
Yeah. No, I would love to do Beaker as trash.
Oh no.
So, anyways,
if you just want to see Beaker naked, I'm sure that there's online resources that you could access.
oh, there is. Don't worry. That's how I came to this conclusion.
Oh no.
Anyways, so we call her the Woodland Witch with the Witch of the Woods.
Witch of the Woods is what
with a Y.
Does it have to be spelled? I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Anyways, so the Witch had a few more questions. It's like a kind of multi-part question. Which horror character do you think you could survive, or movie? And her comment was, I always think I could survive any horror movie until Oculus came out. Then I realized I couldn't survive a haunted mirror. So is there one you think you could get away with living through?
Yeah, 100%. Hellraiser. First of all, I'm bad at puzzles. So 0% chance I even solve that shit. And then also, why would I even solve it? There's video games to play. Why would I play with this puzzle box? So boom, Hellraiser. Survived it. Got it in one.
That's funny. I guess I didn't think of that one. That was good. You just don't play. That's like, I don't know.
Some war games logic right there.
Yeah, really. I'm trying to think of another one that I think I could survive. Like, I think would be hard.
Well, Camp Crystal Lake, Friday the 13th. I wouldn't go.
Yeah, I wouldn't
to
go.
a camp.
Yep.
I'm 36. What would I be doing at a summer camp anyway?
How do you do, fellow children? I did it.
You got it. Oh man, it's so
didn't.
sad
It's
because
kids, though,
Steve
isn't it?
Buscemi just got punched in the face in New York for no reason.
What?
Yeah, he was like assaulted for no good reason by like a random punch gang, I guess. Like a bunch of youths out there just going around punching folks.
Here's the deal, folks. We don't wield a lot of power, but whatever power we do wield, yeah.
We yield most power because
yield.
we don't.
Whatever power we do wield, get those kids.
Yeah, find those children
Find
who
those
punched
children.
Steve Buscemi,
Yeah.
throw them into jail,
Yep.
or just like show them some Steve Buscemi films, and then get them to understand the error of their ways.
Yeah.
They can be reformed.
They can.
Another one, Halloween. Never even been to Haddonfield. No chance.
No chance.
No chance.
So
I'm
let's
going
say
there.
let's change your logic here. So what if it just started happening to you? Like you have like an estranged sibling that showed up and just wanted to start killing you.
So, wanted to kill me?
Yeah.
And it's like a big ass like Michael Myers type.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
right,
Yeah.
oh, I'll die
Yeah.
for sure.
Sure.
I'm not very fast.
Right.
I'm not very clever. There's not a lot I can do. I would try to talk my way out of it, but by most accounts, a Michael Myers type is not very persuadable.
So I think I could make it through Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah, it's because there's a bunch of idiot college kids.
Right.
Yeah, I could survive that one.
Right. Trying to think of another one. Zombievers. I think I could make it.
Wishmaster.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm very careful. I choose my words carefully.
You sure do.
So I'm not going to say something like, oh man, I wish you could use these words I say to turn me into a wall. You know, that kind of thing. Like everyone says something stupid.
Right.
It's like, stop saying weird things to this creepy guy. He's going to use his magic djinn powers to wreck your day. So yeah, I think I could survive Wishmaster for sure.
That's a solid one. Yeah, but then all the other ones, probably not. And then The Witch of the Woods had a follow-up. Who do we think is the sexiest, like, horror figure? I should try to see how she worded it. Horror character, to which I asked, like, could we reword this to which horror character would you sexy run from? So they could, like, catch you. But...
Oh, is that what you meant by that? I didn't
Yeah.
really understand that.
Yeah, I probably should add a little more context, but, you know, you live, you learn.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say Slithis. Just throwing it out there for the world. Giant fish monster.
He's not a giant. He's regular sized. I mean, he gets big for fish,
Yeah.
but I didn't see that part, so this is new to me. I saw your reply, but I did not see the follow-up question. I guess Syl from Species.
That's fair.
Does that count?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's actually a good one. That's a good answer. Yeah. Huh.
So I gotta be like, oh no, I'll never escape.
Oh no.
What do I do? How will I ever get out of here in time?
Oh, predator monster.
Oh no, predator monster.
You kill me.
I'll kill you too.
Why'd you do that? Anyways, I love the Lucas brothers. That was so funny when I don't even know what we were doing. We were like half asleep drunk and that showed up on TV one time and we just watched it.
Yeah, it was like some
TBS.
sketch comedy show that
Yeah,
was
it was
on.
after Conan.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah. So on every show, how we end our adventure here is by going through the obituaries on Tubi.
I don't think we actually had a lot of change from last time.
Oh, there's no change?
Some of them are still wrapping up their run.
Sure.
They usually do it every month.
Gotcha.
And we're still in the half month right
All
now.
right. So maybe we just do it every other time.
Let me, no, there's been some additions. Let me, I don't have internet connection here.
Okay, we'll just do it next time.
But some of the ones we talked about before are still on the chopping block. So get out there, find them.
Yep.
But next time we will. Yeah, I feel like once a month is a better way to do the
Sure.
to be or not to be as it is.
Oh man.
Get it? Like
That's it. There it is. There it is, folks. We're
doing
doing it live.
it live.
Doing it live. Well, I think that about does it for our dark side intermission. So I'm gonna
The Dark Side Drive-In Intermission. The 1940s announcer has arrived to say, thank you for tuning in. Look for our socials.
Sorry.
Sometimes it's Dark Side Drive-In, other times it's The Dark Side Drive-In, depending on who took the name. So stay tuned for our next full episode starring Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams. It is Dead Heat.
I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, that's good. That was good. No,
Is that how do I sign off from
Yeah.
this?
I think, well, I think that about does it for us. I've been Shane.
And I've been Stefan.
And I've been an announcer who's neither of these men. Different guy. Different entire person.
Definitely neither of us.
So stay stay gould and stay cool.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, bye.
Bye.
He thought he was in control. How wrong he was.
Come to the dark side, driving. It's the dark side, driving. Come to the dark side, driving. It's the dark side, driving movie club. From Dynamis Media comes a horror cyclopedia. Watching movies from the gates of hell. Covers ripped from a blockbuster shell. Officer Bosch is the only good cop. Jugs and the stuff just can't be stopped. Things get hairy and the werewolf's there. Turn the corner and the prowler is there. It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club. Shane's the one who runs the show. He produces and keeps the flow. The Savini of the ones and twos. Only Jack Cordell has bigger shoes. Steffet does the bulk of the research. His descriptions just can't be besmirched. Lots of synopses are the top of lore. Just like Lamson, you'll be begging for more. It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club.
From the deepest corner of the darkest universe, two brave hosts battle through nameless hordes of ghoulish monsters most foul, all to bring you the eternal glory of the Dark Side Drive-In.
It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club. It's the dark side driving. Come to the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving. It's the dark side driving movie club.